Hello, everybody. We are the Geeks and Degenerates, and today we talk about X-Men '97. I, of course, am Enzo. It's my forever co-host, Jum. Yeah, we talk about the continuation of the beloved '90s classic animated series. Did you watch it while you were growing up?
When I was a kid, I would watch it all the time. But I forgot so much shit.
Yeah.
And I'm also wondering, where did everybody go?
Right.
I think I have missed out on the last season because last time I watched, I was maybe around 8, 9, and but I was still kind of on the high of Justice League and Batman, so I wasn't really that I wasn't that into the sticking to X-Men because I had Batman and the Justice League, and then some animes that came along as well when I was a kid. So I was watching those while watching X-Men. So it was pretty spread thin. Even with Justice League, I don't know what happened chronologically. I just watch it when it comes on TV.
Same here. Yeah, that's pretty much how I watch X-Men, the animated series as well. A few times I would follow the storyline. Other times I'm I don't get what's happening. I'm sorry, homies. But
Yeah.
I really like the show.
Wow, Cyclops,
Yeah. I think I started with the Apocalypse timeline, and I'm like, oh, this is cool.
That's all I remember. Is that there's sentinels all around, the broken buildings.
Yeah.
And I remember Cable was there already.
Yeah. Wait, yeah, this picks up from the last series, and you can really tell how much effort they put into this, how much bigger the budget is. Because the animation style, you're like, God damn, that's impressive.
Can somebody correct me on this one? The studio that did this, are they the same people that did Masters of the Universe? Any chance?
I have no idea. Kind of looks like it.
But yeah, this really felt or kind of was similar to Masters of the Universe, the remastered version, and even the fight scenes. Actually, in my opinion, the fight scenes here are way better.
Yeah.
Compared to Masters of the Universe, and I was a little bit doubtful, because I do remember there were some points in the X-Men TV show where I kind of just zone out and just maybe get bored of an episode.
Yeah.
Same thing with Justice League. I wasn't really that glued in unless the story was really good or I'm really compelled. But if it's any other oh, Magneto's attacking again, we gotta go and fight him.
Yeah.
Kind of monster of the week, I tend to zone out.
Yeah.
But here, it was way more cohesive, and I was way more engaged. I was just I straight up was watching this. I was I legit did this. I'm
and it makes the other X-Men return to their former glory, like Cyclops, and you're right. He was so cool back in the anime series. Same with Storm, because you're in the movies, you're well, Cyclops and Storm aren't the best. Halle Berry and James Marsden are good as their characters, but just the writing for the characters, you're I wish you could do more. And you see in the anime series how much more of a badass these two are. Cyclops is obviously the leader, and Storm is literally one of the bigger guns of the team, and you're right. You control the weather. You can make a tornado come out of nowhere.
I love how they make Scott look now. Because, that's what I remember from the TV series. That Scott is a leader, and he's OP because, again, vision beams.
Yeah.
But here, they took it a step further where he's using it for maneuvering.
Right?
By the way, before Wolverine came along, yes, everybody was favorite X-Men was Wolverine because he's the one with the movie and he was the main character of the live action movies.
Yeah.
But in the TV series, he was more of well, then the main character here was the team as a whole.
Yeah.
And I love it that this show kind of brought that back. Everybody has their own little thing. But of course, somebody has a role, which is Scott's role, which is the leader.
Yeah.
And I remember, I was I like Cyclops. I remember I read a couple of comics where Cyclops is the most, even the one where he had the X
Yeah.
like goggles, and he had like the black suit. Like that shit was so badass.
Yeah.
But now he is here. He is not the live action version. No offense, for sure. That wasn't your fault. And he's so capable. He used it to maneuver. Man, sliding around while beaming shit. I was like, what? And that was the first episode.
Yeah, I think my favorite scene in the first episode is him calling Storm, like, give them the forecast, and she just kicks ass, and you're like, right. She's an Omega level mutant. You're like, right, I forgot about that. And like, I do like it that we start off with kicking Sentinels around again, because that is the ultimate enemy of the X-Men, which is always bigotry. Yeah. You're like, oh, right, X-Men. They stand for something. For minorities who've been discriminated against.
I don't know what's up with like this subplot with Jubilee and this like Brazilian like nepo baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. A lot of the times I got mostly annoyed by this guy.
Yeah, Sunspot is his name. He was also in the movies. He died quickly in X-Men Days of Future Past. But yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you see how the X-Men are trying to pick up the pieces after Charles Xavier is killed. And like, the last episode... Yeah. Huh?
I forgot that happened. The man had straight up, it was like... JFK'd or Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, right.
Yeah, you're like, oh shit, I forgot about it. And then Magneto inherits everything, and then the second episode is Magneto on trial. And like the entire episode, you're like, Magneto, please don't. Magneto, please.
Look, dude, okay. Before that happens, we get this awesome scene where they're in the jet and a Sentinel attacks them in the jet.
Yeah.
And for sure, every YouTuber, every TikToker, everybody has talked about this. Where, again, we didn't expect this from Cyclops. The man breaks his fall by using his beam. And I'm like, and he just delivers the most perfect lines. Just to me, my X-Men. I'm like, oh
yeah.
Yes. Like,
and then the
it's
theme,
very classic, but yet so tastefully done.
Yeah, and then the theme erupts, and you're like, my childhood. Like the very beginning of the series, when the theme goes on, I'm like, sweet summer memories.
Dude, I don't know if you find this as a gripe, but I don't. I love the campy one-liners or like how they deliver the lines. Like, you know how Storm comes in and she's like, you know, like, I'm the goddess of weather and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, you could tell that it's like written. You could tell that they tried to stick to like the feel of this is written in the 90s.
Yeah. Which
and then they would have like scenes like with like Scott and Jean where it was like, this is very today. Like,
yeah,
this is written into.
Which I don't mind actually. But yeah, if Scott is the MVP of episode 1, Magneto definitely is the MVP of episode 2 because he tries to take over Xavier's ways and he has a hard time. He's like, we have to learn how to exist. And you're like,
exactly. Like he had a hard time. It was like TM work.
Yeah.
TM work.
I do like his new suit, the big M, and it's all purple. You're like, that's a good suit.
Not gonna lie, I'm a very I love the old suit. I love the classic look.
Yeah.
But this androgynous, very sexy kind of like, the man has like the sleeves.
Yeah.
I was like, what is that? What kind of Prada looking ass suit you got this from? You know, like, but it's so good. I love it, and I love the character for Magneto. I forgot he was like this.
Yeah.
And dude stole the show within one episode, and I forgot. Like, wait, yeah, I was on his side when I was watching X-Men.
Yeah, like he's brought to the UN. Like the UN comes to the school, and Magneto straight up is about to like split them in half with a choppers, and you're like, what?
I know, like, dude, the man commands respect.
Yeah.
Because they all like, we brought guns you can't control. I was like, yeah. I should have thought better. And then he like started pointing the blades of the helicopters towards everybody. I'm like, that was such a boss fucking move. Like,
yeah.
Oh my god.
I also forgot the X-Men had a villain called the Executioner. I'm like, that's a sick fucking name. But like, he just grinds on my nerves when he's like attacking Cyclops, and he's like You people keep whining and complaining. Us decent folks don't whine. And you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, right.
Like you're not a mutant though.
Sorry, if you kind of get where they're getting at here,
Yeah.
it is clearly. Well, you know what? Okay, I'm not gonna say it because it might be too problematic. But clearly, it's the people are so sensitive these days.
Yeah.
Kind of type of person. It's like we used to like tough it out, kind of guy, and again, it doesn't really help that he's wearing a hood and his mask kind of represents a certain look.
Yeah.
I'm like, that kind of like, whew.
Right. Like I was just spraying like Cyclops to just please beat his ass, and then more of this entire series is just glorified cameos, which I don't mind. But like he changes to Colossus and then Psylocke, and I'm like, damn, is this your whole purpose for being the show?
I like it though. He's a bro.
Yeah.
Like Morph is such a bro. Like remember when, like later in that episode where Wolverine's kind of sulking because Jean and Scott had a kid.
Yeah.
And of course he's still in love with Jean. The dude comes in with a beer and chips and like, hey man, I'm here to get your mind off things. Even though at some points he's a little uncalled for, like he kind of rubs it in Gambit's face that like, go get
yeah.
He's still bro, and like he turns into Sabretooth, and then like him and Wolverine have like a spar, which lightens his mood. And
yeah.
I like Morph, and is he voiced by Sonic?
I'm not sure, but that's my favorite. Another funny scene from this show is when Jean starts giving birth, and Wolverine's like, "What's happening? It's apocalypse here," and she's like, "It's happening." He's like, "Oh, shit!"
And man's like horrible, like driving like a maniac.
Yeah. Even the doctor is frustrating because he's like, I don't operate on mutants. You people might explode. And you're like, shut up, please.
I don't think that was the reason. But, okay.
Well, he worded it like, well, you guys have powers. And in your mind, you're like, you just don't want to operate on mutants, don't you?
Right.
Yeah.
And I love, like, Wolverine's line here. Where like, what would happen if I need to do a C-section? And it was like, I'll show you what a C-section looks like. I'm like, he might.
Yeah, right.
By the way, I don't know if this episode is kind of like a parody or a joke or a jab at a certain situation that happened at a certain brightly colored house in a very big capital.
Yeah.
That might have been a little too reminiscent.
Yeah.
Everybody's just like, eesh.
Oh, shit. I just realized that.
Yeah, I was watching it and I was like
when they were trying to get at Magneto, I'm like, now that you put it together, I'm like, shit, that is too reminiscent. And like Executioner takes away Storm's powers, and that makes Magneto just lose it. And the whole episode, you're like, Magneto, don't. Now you're like, Magneto, no. But at the same time, you're like, you know what?
At one point, I was like, with the Executioner on the shield, I was like, drop him.
Yeah, even for just 10 seconds.
People, just him.
Yeah. And Magneto again gives this amazing speech of like, back in the day, I would have killed you all for what you did to Storm. When will we ever be good enough? But now, an old friend has challenged me to change my perspective of the Earth, which is so vast. And you guys make it so small, and we just ask not to be loved or accepted. But we just want you to acknowledge that we are a shared species. Like, we share this planet, and we have a right to exist. And you're like,
yeah,
oh shit.
And I love it that he cries beforehand, where he's like, he is torn apart by his own personal morals and the morals of his friend.
Yeah.
And I love it before that they, like, even after that, like, they show like a photo of Magneto with Charles.
Yeah.
That Charles still loved him and still found him as a good friend, even that though they were fighting against each other. Dude, the entire time Magneto was talking in the UN conference, I was like, or the UN trial.
Yeah.
I was at awe because like every time he spoke, it was always with weight.
Yeah.
Like they'll be like, you put collars on us. You send sentinels. to fight against us. And they were like, yeah, we're doing this because we're scared of you. I was like, or we fear you might like go out of hand. Yeah, but the only reason why we go out of hand is because you're attacking us.
Yeah.
I'm paraphrasing, by the way. He says it with more weight. Please watch the episode. But I was like, that's when I was like, right, I forgot I was on his side. He has a point. The only time Magneto and the gang like kind of come out of the blue is because people are just being horrible.
Yeah, just
and discriminating them.
This really shows how much like Malcolm X Magneto is, where he's like, look, if you're gonna disrespect us or dehumanize us so badly, we're not gonna be nice about it.
Yeah, I agree with this outlook, where treat the people how you want to be treated, and if they treat you badly, you treat them the same way.
Yeah.
Like, I as much as I would like to be a Charles, and for sure the world might be better for it, I still like relate to Magneto a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, this, in my opinion, from the 3 episodes that came out recently, this is the best one. And Magneto stole the show, and he is right now my favorite character. I'm a little bit off by the relationship that he has with Rogue.
Yeah, I was like, when did this happen? I truly forgot.
Yeah, and like, not a fan of it. Like, they're like, oh, there's a scandal, and like it might come in between her and Gambit.
Yeah.
And I kind of just wanted like a whole redemption story for Eric.
Yeah.
Where he takes up the mantle as the new leader, and as we go forward, I'm like, instead of like having this like, oh, are they having this the sexy time, and like, are they not?
Yeah. Also, you know, it's in the 90s because at one point Gambit is wearing this crop top, and I'm like, right, I forgot that was a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Not gonna lie, after this scene, I feel like a lot of people might be bringing that back.
Right.
And I am so confused with his accent.
Right. But yeah, Jane gives birth to Nathan Summers, and if you know the comics, you know who it becomes in the future. But yeah, episode 3 happens, and like, end of episode 2, Jean knocks on the X-Men's door, and she's like, I need help from the X-Men. They're all like,
Jean?
Right? And then episode 3, you're reminded of like, right, Magneto's not the only antagonist of the X-Men. There's also people like Mr. Sinister who experiment on mutants to help him live longer, and you're like, yeah, this is why I'm purely a Magneto guy, because the other villains are kind of scary. Like, there's Sinister, there's like Apocalypse. They find out that the Jane they've been with for the last 2 episodes, even after Storm left because she has no more powers, it's not their Jean. It's a clone Jean.
I kind of like this narrative though, but I'm also frustrated on like, by the way, at the end of this episode, they don't resolve it yet.
Yeah.
Where, who's the real Jean? Who's the one that married Scott and was there the entire time? When's the one where they like before Xavier died?
Yeah, you're like, are you the one that had the Phoenix powers? So the real Jean was just comatose somewhere? Like, huh?
By the way, I say that's bullshit though. I say this subplot is kind of bullshit because when they come in, they're like, oh, is this a clone? Who made this person? And they find out the person that they're with is the clone, and the person who just came in is a real Jean.
Yeah.
And Beast like carbon dates her to make sure, like, hey, this one lived longer compared to you. So she's the real one. You're the newer version. And everybody's like, what? So I was like, okay, if you can pinpoint down if she's the eldest one, can you pinpoint when this one was born? Since you can carbon date?
Right.
Like, just have an estimate to help them be like, right, she was passed out or something like that, or kidnapped. I don't know. Like, Beast, what the fuck? I thought you were smarter than this.
Exactly. But anyway, like, I like this episode. Like, it showcases the art style. Like, when they're going through the halls, and like at one point, Beast opens the door and he's like, well, you're on the wrong floor. It really showcases. I think there's a storyline called X-Men Inferno where they go to hell. They fight all these demons, and it's Bishop's time to show what he can do, and you're like, right, I forgot, you're more than just guns.
Forgetting what he does. Yeah, because like I thought he was just guns, but I forgot he could like harness.
Yeah.
like he could like take in energy and like return to sender kind of deal.
Yeah.
Unlike Gambit, because they kind of have the same somewhat powers.
I don't think Gambit absorbs. I think he just throws
He
cards.
doesn't absorb. He just he
Yeah.
puts energy into an object and it explodes.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, but like they go fight these demons while Jean, well, old Jean becomes the Goblin Queen, and like she helps kidnap her own child for, what's his name, Mr. Sinister to experiment, and you're like, huh? Yeah.
I can't be the only one when Clone Jane turned into the Goblin Queen, or whatever she was. That it made me feel funny. I was like, damn, release a figure of that, please.
Right? And like, they do have a figure of that.
Oh, my order's already coming in.
I had no idea. I really didn't know what the Goblin Queen could do until she shreds Magneto. I'm like, what the fuck are you gonna do now? Shit, your big gun just went down.
Yeah. And it was just so crazy, like the entire situation where I don't know if you remember that one Teen Titans episode where like it was just horror.
Yeah.
And I love that theme, and they recreated it here, and I love it.
Yeah.
And yeah, they go after Sinister, where you go to this like haunted mansion kind of place. And yeah, I don't know what was happening. I don't know how they got to that point where like Jean was fighting evil Jean.
Yeah. So
Alright, she woke up.
Yeah, she woke up.
Wolverine was a little too close for comfort.
Yeah. And then she just uses her telekinesis, or telepathy, to fight other Jean, and they both realize that, oh, this is my world too. I don't have to follow Mr. Sinister's prerogative. And she fights back and rescues Nathan, but it's a bit too late because he's already infected with this technovirus, and you're like, ah, yes, one day you'll be Josh Brolin. One day.
One day. I'm sorry. I can't look at Cable the same ever again after the scene of like from Deadpool where he was like,
You shot Black Tom.
Oh, no. You remind me of my wife as he's putting on chapstick.
Oh man, I remember that now. All I remember from Josh Brolin is that you shot Black Tom. You racist. It's like, I'm not racist. You idiot. Well, yeah, Bishop goes to the future and Jean has to say goodbye. And then, yeah, you don't really resolve the two Jean problem when you're like, how are you gonna solve this thing?
Yeah. I thought she was gonna be like a main villain of like the series, like they deal with the Goblin kind of thing. But nah, that wasn't the case.
I'm pretty sure right at the end they'll have like a cameo of a bigger X-Men villain, like Apocalypse, of course, or like someone bigger. But like I do like the fact that we get Mr. Sinister early on, because he's one of the coolest characters from the original animated show, and he's not annoying like Executioner. So you're like, all right.
Yeah, he's not.
Except the bigot.
Again, bigot, sycophants.
Yeah. Oh god, I do love the shot when Jean doesn't know who's talking to her to the walkie-talkie, and you see the thunder and lightning, and she's like, oh fuck, shit, it's Mr. Sinister. And you just see him through the shadows, and like, you're like, that's a fucking cool scene. Or sick scene.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is. And I love it that they don't defeat him.
Yeah.
They're like, we're so close, but like he like disappears into the shadows.
Yeah. But yeah, anything else you want to add to X-Men 97? We don't really rate episodes, but what are your hopes and dreams for this series?
I just wanted to point out the MVP of one of the MVPs of episode 1 is Rogue when she RKO'd that one Sentinel. I was like out of nowhere. I was like, what?
Right? Like, oh shit. She's been watching WWE, which makes sense because it's in the 90s, obviously.
Yeah. So that was crazy and so fun. But what I'm expecting and what I'm excited for, I would like to see more X-Men. Like I could have sworn, there were more X-Men than just this.
Yeah.
And we're getting like glimpses of it from Morph. I don't know can somebody correct me and Lenzo if there's anything that happened in the previous series that kind of took out like Colossus, Nightcrawler, Mystique. Like I don't know where they went.
Angel.
Angel too, yeah. Like where they go.
Yeah.
I guess we just didn't hit that part. Maybe we might have to rewatch it.
I thought Nightcrawler was a big part of the series too. That's why he was a big part in X2 because everybody loved Nightcrawler in the series.
Yeah. So like, I'm just a little confused on like what happened to him.
Yeah.
I can't wait for like to see more of the mutants. What else? I would love to see them like go into the future, or some people from the future go back into the past.
Yeah.
Like Nathan Summers sees like his parents and be like, "Oh shit,
You're jacked."
you know?
Here you are, jacked,
Yeah,
son.
you're jacked.
Right?
You're Thanos.
Oh shit. But yeah, I know there might be cameos from non-X-Men Marvel characters too, like of course Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I remember in the original series Doctor Doom made a cameo too, and I'm like, who's that guy? He looks cool though.
Not gonna lie, I thought Doctor Doom was an X-Men bad guy
Yeah, same here.
until I found out like, oh no, he's a Fantastic Four bad guy.
Yeah. But yeah, I hope the series continues down this path because up until now there hasn't been any down episode for me at least.
Yeah, and I'm so excited for this Wednesday once it like releases.
Yeah.
New episode.
Like episode 2 really felt like the end of the overall old series where you're like, oh, so that's how it culminates. Shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am very happy with this show, and the 90s kid in me is truly excited that this is back. I know they're making a continuation of the Batman animated series on Amazon too, so can't wait for that. But yeah, to the audience watching and to you, of course, what other Marvel characters do you wish had their own animated series? I don't think Hulk, or no, I don't think Thor ever had one.
I don't know what this. Actually, that might be fun. Who knows? Like if they just delve in deep with like
Norse
the
mythology.
Nordic, yeah.
Yeah.
Like they don't go to Earth or anything. It's just him going around the universe.
Yeah.
That would be actually a sick concept. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
That would be cool. I would like a very dramatized, very serious Hulk. The series where he's like running from the military, like he's always on the run, and you kind of see his life. Like makes you sympathize with him. Like it's more of a curse than it is a power.
Yeah. I mean, Hulk did have a show called him and the Agents of Smash, and you're like, what the fuck does Agents of Smash mean? But you know what? If Marvel really went deep into his lore, I would like to see Ghost Rider have his own series.
Oh fuck yeah! Oh shit yeah! Now that you mention it, that's a good choice.
Yeah.
I would love like him like going into space too.
Oh yeah, Cosmic Ghost Rider. Oh shit.
Yeah.
I know Marvel Zombies has its own thing. Like it's gonna be R-rated, like the true Marvel Zombies from the comics.
Okay, that would be sick.
But yeah,
I don't know. Like for me, when I heard about or read about Marvel Zombies, it kind of just made me more depressed. I didn't find it cool in any way. I was just like, oh, I don't like seeing Peter Parker eat Mary Jane.
Right? Yeah, it's a very sad comic, but at the same time, you're like, and it's by Robert Kirkman who did Invincible, and you're like, well, it's within its continuity, you know.
I guess so.
But yeah,
it's in theme.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's been our videos for X-Men 97 episodes 1, 2, and 3. If you like our videos, please leave them a like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. We're also on Spotify and TikTok to see our best and funniest moments, and Spotify to hear us on the go. Individually, I'm Zodas Voices on TikTok, and Enswolf on Letterboxd. Where can they find you?
Oh, you can find me at JomGM_ on Instagram. It is my account. Sadly, I can't get into my account. I don't know how to get back there. Because it was in my old phone and I lost that one.
Well, that's a problem. Stay tuned to see.
If anyone in the comments know how to do this, comment down below. Because I don't know what email I use for that one.
Stay tuned to see what happens next on Jom's phone drama. Anyway, see ya.